So there was a story that I did 2 or 3 weeks ago. This husband said that he hated their baby. So this husband is 55 years old. He's on the second marriage with this woman. He had 4 kids previous to this. And now at age 55, he has a baby. He is not doing well with being a parent. Well, so this update right here was the first update she did, and that was 19 days ago. So here I'm going to do some of this, but I'm going to get to the most recent update, which was a little over a week ago. She says, I'm planning an exit strategy that my husband doesn't know about. Even though he apologized for saying he hated our baby and wished it wasn't here, I no longer trust him. Recently, he has been trying to make amends, but I'm still uncertain about my feelings towards him. This morning, I woke up later than usual and found that both he and my son were gone. He had taken our son for a walk without informing me, which made me panic. Almost called the police, but they returned before I did. Towards the bottom, you can see that she types he has 4 adult children from a previous marriage that he has a close relationship with. Towards the bottom, she says, I'm in my head a lot. Deep down, I think I know what I need to do to keep my child safe, but another part of me wants to give him another chance. All right, so that's where we are. This man is not a safe space for their child, and she is at least thinking about leaving him. Like I said, this man is 55. He has kids. This is not his first rodeo. Neither one of them took precautions to not have a child. So this is where they are. This was an update about a week ago. She gave some screenshots of what happened when she was taking some me time, and her husband said that he would, watch their kid. Hubby is in gray. He says, he cries every time I put him down. It's all your fault because you hold him all day. When are you coming back home? I need a break. I can't get him to stop crying. You need to come home now. She says, it's almost time for a nap. I think he's just tired. Can you put him in the crib now? I'll be home in an hour. She says, I haven't been gone that long and you're asking for a break. You literally told me I could go. I asked you more than once if you were okay taking care of him, and you said it was okay. And then husband says, not if he's crying the entire time. I am not okay with that. She says, you're always complaining. It's so exhausting at this point. Husband says, because you're not getting the point, you're making it hard for me. He's crying every time I put him down, and you get mad at me for letting him cry. She says, if you need to get stuff done, then it's okay to put him down and let him cry for a bit. I have no issue with that. You're trying to ruin the little time I have to myself. That's exactly what you're doing. And then he says, every time I try to talk to you, you get defensive. It's like you don't want me to say anything. And then the wife says, because you're not making any sense and you're trying to pick a fight with me because you have to look after your child. He's picking a fight with her, and he said that she could go take some me time, but he's picking a fight through text. Okay, then the woman gave this caption. She says, I know most people might think I'm crazy for leaving him alone with our son again after he said he effing hated him and wished he wasn't here, but I thought things had gotten better. He told me to take some time for myself today, but then he texted me while I was out saying he needed a break. It completely ruined my me time and gave me so much anxiety. I was already uncomfortable leaving them, but he kept reassuring me that everything would be fine. Our baby is going through the clingy phase right now, and I've tried to explain to him that it's normal, but he thinks I'm enabling it by holding him too much. It just feels like things aren't getting better. I don't know if I'm overreacting or if he's right that I'm holding our son too much. I'm just so frustrated right now. She really just have to leave this man. This man does not want to be a dad. And if she did leave, when she does get a babysitter for some me time, the babysitter will be prepared to handle a crying baby. This man does not want to be a dad. He does not want to handle the baby unless the baby is sitting there quiet like a doll. Like he's sitting up here getting mad and frustrated with the wife because the baby is crying. Okay, figure it out. How do you make a baby stop crying? You feed it, you try to put the baby to sleep, you change the baby's diaper. That's literally, you show some love and caring towards the baby. This is literally how you soothe a baby. This man thinks that babies are just going to sit there and be quiet, and I don't know what's wrong with these people. Shanaz Berry says, adolescent girls have been figuring out how to babysit for decades now. This grown man can't use his big brain. SD says, I'm a firm believer that the only way for a guy to figure out a way to make it work for himself is just leaving him alone with the kiddo. Our son was about 9 weeks old. The first time I went out for a coffee with a friend of mine, I was out for 3 hours. I pumped just before leaving, and my boobs were full by the time I got back. And my husband was all right. Our kiddo was awake but barely cried. It worked for all of us. You know, that advice might be good for a normal situation, but this husband does not seem particularly helpful. He doesn't seem to care. He said that he hated their baby. So why would you think that this would be a good comparison to tell her about the wonderful things that your husband did? Like literally, she tried to leave. She did. She left. But then the husband started texting her. This is not the comparison. Burning Coco says, I'd be very worried about leaving him with a man like that. Small fuse, little patience. That's someone that could shake a baby. Fart Knocker says, yep, I wouldn't leave my baby with a half-assed man. Beach Bum says, I feel like you're getting the honest husband through this that told you from day one that he didn't want any more children. After all, he has 4 adult children, and you thought that he had that behind him. Having a child in your 30s is way different than your 50s. Personally, I have a great deal of sympathy for him, and maybe it's because I retired a year ago at 59. I can't imagine having a 4-year-old at that point. This certainly isn't right by any means, but I feel like he's going to resent and take his frustration out on his child for life. This, in turn, is going to put a terrible strain on your marriage if you even stayed married. He needs to see a counselor so he can get some help over his anger and resentment. He needs to man up. He was 50% of the equation. I don't know if this man said that he didn't want kids with her. I don't think that he said that. I don't remember reading that in the post. I'll come back to that. I'll go see if he says that in the original post. This is where mom starts talking. Periodic Sheep says, why are you still with this guy? Is it lack of funds or a place to go? Your baby isn't safe. You aren't safe. Please do anything you can to get away from this abusive man. And then the OP says, I'm still figuring things out, but honestly, I don't have the money to make it on my own right now with a baby. I'm trying to handle things as best I can. Valuable Counsel says, there is help out there. Your baby is in danger with this man. He can shake that baby to death. Get out now. Impossible Cap says, why do you keep leaving your baby with this person? And the OP says, I thought he changed, and I guess I was stupid enough to believe him. I'm never leaving them alone again. So that's where she is. She's not going to try this again. S. Mikan says, thank God, because this is some seriously scary stuff. This man has told you how he felt about that child. Does he need to show you how much he means it? No normal person, no normal and safe person could ever speak about a child that way. It's time to take him seriously and put that baby first and keep that beautiful baby safe. Okay, so that person earlier was acting like this man didn't want this child. I found the original post. This is where she said, my husband has no patience with our 4-month-old. We're older parents. I'm 43. He's 55. We've been married for 2 years and our son wasn't planned. It just happened. At first, he was happy, but once the baby arrived, I realized he was no longer happy. So they didn't take precautions. Maybe they thought because they were older, they weren't going to get pregnant, or she wasn't going to get pregnant. But he did not come out and say that he did not want this child in the beginning. So I just wanted to clear that up because I couldn't exactly remember since this was from August 1st. Okay, so that is the update. If you did want the whole original story, it is posted on my pages somewhere. Like I said, it's from August 1st. Anyways, join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.